Hello, I'm Sheila Blanco, Public Information Manager for Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools. And today we want to talk a little bit about the Savannah-Chatham E-Learning Academy. This was something brand new that started this school year, and it's been very, very popular. Joining me now is the principal of Savannah-Chatham E-Learning Academy, which we call SELA. This is Mr. Benjamin Lamb. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you.
Not bad. I'm glad you could be here with us because I know that this is an option for learning that has really gotten a lot of attention. Obviously, in part this year because of the pandemic, but some students are actually really thriving in online learning, and there's been a lot of interest in staying in SELA. It's going to become a regular part of Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools going forward. This is different, though, than students who are enrolled in other schools and simply doing online learning right now or virtual learning. Tell us a little bit about how your school differs from that.
So when I think about how we're different, the first word that comes to mind is flexibility. So our students have a lot more flexibility in their day with how they complete coursework. For instance, our high school students work primarily what we call asynchronously. So they are logging in throughout the day to complete their coursework. They can go to Zoom sessions to get help from their teacher, whether that's in a small group setting or even individualized for what they need. And then they just have to complete the work on pace with the teacher according to what the teacher prescribes for them. So a lot of our students, they might do 2 classes on Monday and Tuesday, 2 classes on Wednesday, Thursday, and then kind of finish up anything else they need for the week on a Friday. They have some flexibility in how they design their schedule. For our elementary kids, we have some parents who want their kids to go to the Zoom sessions and get the instruction from their teachers during the day and then complete some of their work at night. The same thing with our middle school students. So that just gives them a little bit of flexibility. So the older students have that freedom because they can learn more independently, I guess. Do they also have some Zoom sessions for the older students as well, or is it all asynchronous for the older students for the high school level? So for our high school students, it's all asynchronous, but they have the Zoom sessions there if they need to go get help. Also, if they're struggling and the teachers notice through their coursework that they have a learning gap or they need to address something, they then contact the teacher, the parent, and the student and pull them back into that synchronous Zoom session to provide that remediation that they need.
And you are most of the grade levels, not all of them yet. This year, when you all started off, it's grades 3 through 10, right?
Correct.
But
yes.
You are expanding next school year. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're excited to expand to 11th grade next year. So next year will be 3 through 11th. And then the year after that, we will add our first graduating class in our 12th graders. And part of that is just every school goes through an accreditation process. So we're currently going through that, and we're pleased that we went through our readiness review in December and are a candidate for accreditation with Cognia and are actively working towards our engagement review.
Well, that expanding the extra grade next year is obviously going, and then seniors the following year, is obviously going to expand the number of students. Now, how many students does the school have at the moment?
We currently have about 800 students.
Okay. And so how many students do you expect to expand to next year?
The hope is to expand to 1,200.
1,200. So that's more than just adding the extra grade, I would assume. Is that adding some students in each grade level?
Yes. We'll have spots open in all the grade levels.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about what teacher qualifications are required for something like SELA. Is there a separate type of qualification? Because I would assume teachers who are teaching all online have to have some pretty good experience doing that, because I know it's been very rough on teachers this year who don't have experience doing that, in part because they're having to do both, but also because it really is a different teaching technique. Tell us a little bit about that.
So all of our teachers, when they're hired, go through a competency interview. So part of their interview is we actually have them teach an online lesson to us in their interview, and we rate them on a rubric to see what their pedagogical skills are in teaching virtually. So we look for the best of the best that have that skill set. Of course, then we do professional development throughout the year as well to help them. Currently, all of our staff are going through a pre-online endorsement with the state of Georgia. It's kind of the pre-course before they would move on to doing their online endorsement, which is ultimately what our goal is for our teachers.
Wow, okay. Tell me also how one applies to join SELA or the Savannah Chatham E-Learning Academy, because you all are currently taking applications.
That's correct.
Again, you are expanding the number of students going into the next school year. So tell us what parents need to know right now if they believe their child would be a good fit for SELA.
Absolutely. Our application is also on our website. And you go there and complete the application. It's very simple. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes, not much. We're really trying to get everyone to apply by the end of February so that we can get the students scheduled and make sure they have what they need for next year and that they're set for success for next year.
And just so everyone knows, people can get to your website pretty easily through the district website. If you go to SCCPSS.com, click on the schools tab, go down to alternative learning centers. You all are listed down on that list, Savannah Chatham E-Learning Academy. Tell me, if parents are interested and they think they might attend one of these information sessions to learn more about the school, how do they know their child might be a good fit? Because some students have been struggling with the online learning since the pandemic began and schools closed, but I know that others have been thriving, and I know that you have been having a lot of success with your school from what I have heard at any rate. So tell me, what is the difference there? What makes a student a really good fit for SELA?
One of the things that we've identified for students is motivation, a very motivated learner. You know, the other more tangible things, they have a quiet workspace. We provide all of our students a Chromebook if they need it. Of course, it's not required that they use a district device to access our programs. But really, that motivation for learning is a key. Good time management skills is key to their success, and good communication skills. You know, they can reach out to their teacher and they can navigate the platforms and, you know, send their teacher a message if they need help as well. All of our parents identify a learning coach, which is a responsible adult, oftentimes the parent at home that helps the child. And their responsibility is just, you know, check the child's progress with the pacing guides the teachers provide, make sure they're logging in and getting work done daily. And what I like to tell parents is they don't have to be the nurse, cafeteria worker, and teacher. You know, the instructions are part. So we just need your help to track their progress and make sure they're working, but we'll provide the instruction and make sure they get what they need. So when you boil it all down, it's a student who is good at responsibility. You know, the responsibility for doing what they need to do without necessarily a teacher looking over their shoulder all the time or working with them in a classroom. They have that interaction with the teacher, but they have to be somewhat self-motivated and disciplined to know that they need to log on for their classes each day and keep up with what they need to do. Yes, exactly. And it doesn't have to be all the gifted students either. You know, we support our special education students as well, or students who are just struggling a little bit. You know, we still provide that remediation and that intensive support that they need. Just the motivation and the time management skills online is important. And
you're taking applications. Really, you're not going to close it, but you are hoping that parents who are interested for their student next year will register by the end of February, so that you have a chance to do the best job you can scheduling those students and making sure that they have the educational experience they should have next school year, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about or touched on that you think is important for our families to know about SELA?
Just that we would love to have your student join us, especially if you have found that this virtual environment really works for their child. We're a little different, but we can still provide your child exactly what they need, especially if maybe you have a student who wants to get ahead or maybe needs to catch up a little bit and are motivated to do that. We have the flexibility, and we have students that are currently doing that and being very successful at it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
It was great learning more about SELA. Have a good day.